Well, are you ready? Yes. And you know what you're ready for? Yes. Okay. All right. I hope we all know what we're ready for. I know it's something good and something great and something grand, always. Encouragement is what we're I thought I was going to lose a tooth that time. I'm joking. They're all my own. Oh, yes, it's good to laugh about nothing. Nothing's the best thing to laugh about, isn't it, really? You don't get yourself into trouble that way. So, encouragement, encouragement, encouragement. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful word that means a beautiful thing. And if you go to the dictionary and look up the word encouragement, there are lots and lots and lots of great words that tell us what it's all about. Words like, to buoy up, to boost. Things like to cheer, to champion, to fire up, to fortify, to inspire, to invigorate, reinvigorate, to nurture, to nourish, to motivate, to really egg someone on. It does say that. It says egg on. On toast. No, just egg on. Egg on, it says that. And we all know what these words mean, to inspire, to spirit somebody, to empower somebody, to enliven somebody, to encourage. And that's what it's all about. And I would ask us to look at those words and see if they are our experience. They're very energized words, energetic words. And are they part of our experience, these words? Are these words that we well understand and can well appreciate because we experience them all of the time? Because that's what we can do. We can experience words like that all of the time. We can feel it within ourselves, and we can certainly encourage that within others too. And it's a very important thing that you and I understand that we are here to be encouragers. What are encouragers? In our language, we would call them affirmers of life. Encouragers are affirmers of life. We go out there every day, and what we're doing is affirming our own lives and all life besides. Because here's the key that we're always endeavoring to get here according to this teaching, that every single thing is interconnected. Every single one is interconnected. There is no separation of me from you or you from anybody else or anything else. All of life is interconnected, like the sage bushes in that miles and miles of plains near the San Cristo Mountains in New Mexico, where all of those sage bushes are growing up, and they all look like an individual bush, and they're not, because all of the roots are interconnected underneath. It's just a whole mass of interconnected roots. They're all coming up out of the one set of roots. That's the way it is with you. That's the way it is with me. Now, whether we like it or not, that's just how it is. I happen to like it very much, that idea. So what does that mean to you? It means that whatever I'm thinking and whatever I'm feeling, I am not only affecting myself at the local level, I'm affecting all of life at the global and universal level too. Because there is only one mind, there's only one heart. I'm feeling into the one mind, I'm feeling into the cosmic heart, and whatever it is I'm thinking and feeling into all of that is either affirming it or negating it. I'm either affirming or negating, or I'm blah, I'm flatlining. Now, flatlining is better than negation, but it's not as good as affirmation, see? So that's what's going on in your life and in mine, whether you know it or not, whether I'm aware of it or not. Every thought I think is affecting every single person, place, and thing that there is in creation. There's no such thing as a private thought or a private feeling, or my thought or my feeling. Well, that's just me, and that's just how I am. Well, snap out of it, honey, because that's affecting how I am too. You see, there's none of that going on at all. We're in it together. as the one thing thinking, as the one thing feeling, as the one thing doing, in our own unique and original way, I grant you. But nevertheless, you're affecting me and I'm affecting you, and we are affecting all of life too, in the way we're thinking, in the way we're feeling, in the way we're doing. And that's a good thing, because think of how empowered we are if we're on the affirmative side of life, and we are an affirming life force out there in the world. We are creating all kinds of good shenanigans out there. We really are. We're making the difference. And it only takes a quantum number for us all doing that for everybody to get it. And we don't know how small that number is. It may be very small indeed. Watson's 100 monkey. Once we reach that mark, all the monkeys that we are will be living beautiful, wonderful lives. Like all Watson's monkeys were able to wash their potato. Once 100 of them learned how to do it. All of the monkeys everywhere in the world woke up one day knowing how to wash their potatoes, because 100 of them had succeeded in doing that. It started out with one monkey teaching the others. And so here we are in this world that's given to us a gift, a divine gift from the Almighty, from the Infinite, to live and move and have a being in it that is good and very good, according to the way we're created and the nature of our being. In the image and likeness we are created. In the image and the likeness of our Creator. And when the Creator had created everything, declared it good and very good. And that's what life is, good and very good. Now, of course, in creation, there was that thing that happened called free will that gave you the opportunity and me the opportunity to think whatever I want to think and to feel whatever I want to feel and to do whatever I want to do. But I don't think there was great enough emphasis placed on consequences when we were growing up. Consequences. Oh yes, and I would say to my students in high school when I was teaching, of course you may do that. But you have to understand there will be consequences, and here are the consequences, and your whole class put them together at the beginning of the year. You yourselves decided what consequences would be for everything on this list. It's nothing to do with me. You decided that. So go ahead and do that, and then you will meet these consequences, and you will pay the consequences. It's up to you. Go ahead. You see. So you didn't have to lay down the law and be fierce and say blah, 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 blah. Just say, look, the consequences. Nothing to do with me. You all decided those. So go ahead. Even with the little ones, I say that to little ones. Yes, of course you may do that, but sweetheart, there will be consequences, and here are the consequences. So if you want to suffer the consequences, go ahead and do it. You can make up your own mind. You can do that. And it's amazing how wonderfully well they respond to that kind of reasoning. They are quite capable of adding up, well, if I do that, I can get away with this, but then I'm going to lose out on that, and that's bigger than this. So let me see, maybe I'll rethink it. No, I won't do that, because I want to have that over there, and I want to go there. And so, very intelligent youngsters are. And when it comes to consequences, they know. Some of us as adults need to do more of that too. So encouragement is a very, 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 very wonderful thing. See, I see myself as encouraging those youngsters when I share that with them. Of course you may. Of course you may. You can do that. You can do anything you want to do, but there will be a price. Now, the thing about life is it's one great big, the cosmos is a great big giant ear. And it's listening in to everything you are thinking and feeling and doing and saying and being. It's listening in. And it thinks it's the neatest thing. And then it says, oh, goody, 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 now I get to respond to what I'm hearing. And the way the cosmos responds is by means of correspondence. So if I am thinking in to the cosmos negativity most of the time, and that big ear is hearing negativity most of the time, that big ear is saying, oh, she wants an experience of negativity, let's give it to her. Okay, have at it. And we'll add some extra to boot. You know, a little bit on the side as well. that's really what's happening. That big ear sucks up everything you're thinking, everything you're feeling, and gives it all right back to you in spades. So it behooves us all to encourage ourselves to think aright, to feel aright, to do aright, to be in that energy and awareness of understanding that life is an awesome gift, and I came here on purpose, and my purpose is to express the fullness of life and to realize one good and another good and another good and another good, and in so doing bring a whole lot of people along with me too on that good ride of experience. Encouragement is something everybody needs. Everybody needs encouragement. Imagine a child's life without ever being encouraged. Oh, it doesn't even bear imagining. It doesn't bear imagining. And you know, we never lose that need to be encouraged, to be empowered, to be motivated, to be inspired, to be uplifted and nurtured and nourished. We never lose that. Something we never lose. And we are here to be that for each other. And how do we do that? We can only do that by getting in touch with that which is greater than we are, bigger than we are, more than we are, that which is always encouraging us. When we are in tune with the creative power of the universe, with the divine presence that is within us, around us, and about us, and our ear is cocked to it, and we're listening very careful and sucking all of that encouragement in, then we can be that in our own lives, for our own selves, and therefore be it in someone else's life too. Emerson is one of my favorites. I enjoy reading Emerson. In fact, we have this relationship. I think we know each other. Some of my books are my best friends. And I loved, and he says it like it is. He just doesn't pull his punches, Emerson. He just, with attitude, says what he says. And he said, our chief need is for someone who will make us do what we can do. Make us do what we can do. Some of us had parents like that, didn't we? Who could make us do what we can do. And then some. And you see, without that force in our lives, we can be left floundering, and things can go awry. They can go from bad to worse, and we can get caught up and sucked up in our own negativity or the negativity of those around and about us. There was a story that I love, and it's about an opera singer. It takes place in Europe, actually, in one of the famous opera theatres in Europe. And it was a packed house. The last night, a packed house. Everybody who was anybody was there. Absolutely couldn't wait. Charged with the energy of hearing this phenomenal, great, famous opera singer. And just before curtain call, the manager had to come out and say, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, I'm very sorry, but our lead singer cannot be with us tonight. He's come down with a very bad bug. But we do have a substitute in his place, and I'm sure that this man will be well able to entertain you in a way that you will feel really good about. Well, what was absolutely anticipated excitement and energy of something great going to happen was palpable, changed to palpable disappointment. A groan went up from everybody. You can imagine how that man who was substituting felt. He had to go out there to sing to people who didn't want to hear him sing at all, because they were just anticipating, you know, the great one coming out and singing. So anyway, the man came out, he sang, he put all his heart into it, he threw himself, he did whatever he could to be the best that he could be. And then, at the end of his first ariel, total silence, total silence. And it was only for seconds, but it seemed like minutes. No applause, just total silence. And then a young child in the balcony stood up and said, "Daddy, I think you're great. You were marvelous." Then suddenly, everybody on their feet thunderous applause, and the night went through very well after that. It took the bravery of that one little child to stand up and acknowledge and encourage her dad to turn everything around. And everything was turned around because of the encouragement from that child. Everything was turned around. You and I can turn things around too. You and I can turn things around in our lives when we need to turn things around in our lives. Because there's something greater than we are in us, egging us on, inspiring us to be more than we think we are or can be. But to inspire us to really, it's an intuitive thing. Intuition just drops in and you know what you have to do to put a smile on a face, to change a blue mood into a rosy one, to help somebody turn their energy around. An intuitive thing tells us exactly that we are capable of being a difference in somebody's life. It's what we're here to do. It's that kindness. It's that caring. It's that ability to share something wonderful, to help out somebody else when they are in need. And God knows you never know with whom you are, all around you and about you. People's faces belie what's going on behind their faces. And we don't have to wait for somebody to be in obvious need of a little boost. You and I, through the power of a smile every day, can make the difference in many, many, many lives. We can smile. It doesn't matter what our circumstances are, what we have and what we haven't got. We do have smiles within us. We do have encouraging words within us. We do have the ability to give a knowing nod, to give a little pat, to just say a word that will make all the difference in somebody's life. All of us have had cheerleaders in our lives. All of us have had people who have championed us. My whole life is strewn with them. I'm so blessed to have been given these people along the way of my life, and that continues. I can remember one of my darkest days was the day that I left the convent. It was not easy for me to make that decision, and it was a hard, hard day. And just as I was leaving and coming through the main entrance, one of the sisters came up to me and she pushed a little holy card in my pocket as she gave me a hug. And when I got into the car and I looked at the card, it said, "Remember, Sister Miriam, you are still a very powerful branch on the tree of life." I go to that card very often and I remind myself of those words, and they make the difference. We need this in our lives. We need to be these people for each other so that people are not left floundering. And just because you were in their life that day, it means that you had done something beautiful and wonderful and magical and mystical for somebody else. And because they encountered you in a brief moment, off they went, feeling much better about themselves than they had before. And many times have people said to you, "Oh, you're the angel in my life today. You're exactly what I needed." Is there nothing sweeter than that sense, than that feeling, than that understanding that I made a difference in somebody's life today? I was coming out just before Arrowhead. I'd get a lot of things to go up to Arrowhead because we need all kinds of stuff up there. And I was in a store and I was coming through the door, and it had one of those carts with the thing, the pole, and you can't get it out. And I said to the lady, "Well, how am I supposed to get the stuff to the car?" She said, "Oh, just put it by the door, and then you can drive your car up to the door and then put them in." I said, "Fine, I'll do that." So as I was coming out, I put my cart by the door, and there was a very wonderful young man leaving the store, and he held the door open for me. He said, "Is there any way I can help you?" I said, "I think I can manage, but thank you for offering your help." And so that man stood there. He held that door open as I went in and came out and went in and came out and went in again and put the stuff in the car. You know, I said, "Are you sure I can't do this for you? I said, "Just opening the door is beautiful. Thank you. That's all I need." And so when he was going to the car, his friend who was with him said to him, she said, "Oh, for heaven's sake, what kept you so long?" "Oh," he said, "I was just having the best time. That's all." He didn't say how or why or, you know, that's all he said. And he got into his car. He went off feeling good, and I went off feeling good. It's the little things that make all the difference in life and living giving. And do you know that you get a big, big blessing for all of that? A big, big blessing comes back into your life for all of those tiny little things that we do. It's always the little acts of kindliness and love, as the poet says, that adds up to bring us to that state of feeling my life is for something, and my life is making the difference in somebody else's life. And remember, all of that intuitive nudge in you to help somebody else, to make a difference in somebody else's life, is not coming from you. It's coming from the power and the presence of Spirit within you that is doing the work through you. But you're corresponding and you're allowing it and you're saying yes to it. You're coming into co-creation and cooperation with it. That's the beauty of it. All you and I are doing is cooperating with what the truth of our being is, and we're saying yes to it, because the only thing we have to do or give or be that is unique and original to ourselves are all our mistakes, all our negativity. That's all ours, belongs to us, truly does, and it's what we have created. But all the good thoughts, all the good feelings, and all the good deeds is you and me just allowing Spirit to show up through us, getting out of the way and saying, go, have your way with me, Spirit. Do your thing, Spirit. You know, let yourself loose there. Fix, mend, heal, whatever it is, everywhere we are. It's a beautiful thing, but none of us will ever get that until we are absolutely immersed and enmeshed in a connection with our source, so that we can not only think about our source, but feel our source within ourselves. And until we get that feeling of source within ourselves, we're really not getting what we're here to experience and have always experienced and will always experience. That connection, that feeling, that thing that absolutely pours down your face in smiles and pours into your heart in joy and pours through your pores in understanding as you give yourself away, as Spirit does by means of you, to all the life around and about you. There's nothing sweeter, there's nothing better, there's no higher achievement than you and I succeeding in giving ourselves away, coming from that beautiful spirit of encouragement from the divine within ourselves to go forth, bless, increase, and multiply good. That's what it meant when it was said in Genesis, go forth and multiply. Not multiply people, but multiply your blessings and multiply your good, and blessings and good in everybody's life too. What a tremendous high calling for each and every one of us. And guess what? We wouldn't be called to it if we couldn't do it. It's given to us to be able to do that, to be that, the best of ourselves. So sometimes we have to give ourselves the pep talk and you know, the whoosh up before we can get out there and whoosh somebody else up. We have to give that to ourselves. Allow that to be the gift every day we give ourselves. So no matter what the circumstances are in our lives, we can wake up in the morning and say, this is the best day ever. This is the day I'm going to go forward and be everything I can be. I'm going to be the best good self of me that I am capable of being in this day, and I don't care what crosses my path. Nobody's going to deter me from it. Nothing will prevent me from it. This is my decision. I will stick to my decision. I'm choosing this now. I'm going to be what I'm suggesting to myself I am already in potential. I'm getting out there, and I'm out there, watch out world, to do and be good in it. Here I come, and when this day is over, this world will be lighter and brighter because I was expressing the best of myself out there and in it. And when that happens, I can know blessings are going to pour back at me. And that's not the reason why I can be as good as I can be. Because if I'm doing it for something, it doesn't work well. If I'm doing it because I'm inspired to do it just cause I can, then I'm going to be blessed beyond measure. And the more important part of that is my mind is off my small, whiny self. It's off my small, narrow, constricted, whiny, complaining, victimized self. Once I'm out there with only one thought in mind, I am going to be a light unto this path and a lamp unto everybody's feet as I move through. That's what I'm going to be, because I can. It is the power, it is the presence of the Spirit within me that enables me to be all of this. And then some. How thrillingly a day when we can live it in that way, and we can. So for this coming week, what all of us are invited to be, invitation from Spirit, is to be the best affirmers of life that we can be, the best encouragers that we can be. We're out there to make the difference. We're out there to bring a smile where there were no smiles, to bring warmth where there was no warmth, to bring a soothing word where there's only ache, and so on and so on and so on. So I am knowing that as much as I am jazzed about this and committed to this, you are jazzed and committed too. I'm knowing that each and every one of us wants to be in that sweet connection with our source, to the point that we can allow source to express itself through each and every one of us, in the way we're thinking, in the way we're feeling, in the way we're doing, in the way we're being, in the way we're showing up. Are we on? Are we on for this? Let this be the most life-affirming week you have ever experienced in your life. Give yourself the gift, and in so gifting yourself, you're gifting all of life around and about you too, and all of life that you can't even see and are unaware of as well. I'm knowing this is going to be a powerfully great week. Are you knowing it too? Yes. And so it is.
God said, let there be light. And if darkness should befall you, open your eyes, open your eyes. When I am weary, I rest my head.
We invite you to experience Dr. Moira in person on Sundays. Our services are at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., and childcare is available. Please join us.
I turn to you, God. You hold my hand. You are my breath. Sustain me. Watch over me.
If you enjoy these messages and would like to make a donation to our center, please visit our website at redondocsl.org. Thank you for your support of this ministry.